Alright, this video is about mounting one of my Alexa devices in the wall. We decided we wanted one in our two bathrooms, and I decided to try to wall mount it. And seeing how I'm working in the guest room now, I picked up one of these mounts off of Amazon. It's a flush wall mount, they call it. It's a pretty expensive little thing for a couple pieces of plastic. It was like almost $20, but it's kind of a unique thing, and I really couldn't find any others like it. So there it is. It's a little cup that goes in the wall. They come with a jumper cable there if you're going to use it, and a little tool to get the Amazon dot out. So all it is, this cup goes in the wall, and then you can see how the Echo Dot, this is a third generation one, slides right into it, and then there's a cover that goes over it to kind of hide it, or you can leave it without the cover too. So it can be done either way, and you just drill a hole, and there's a bracket that goes in there and locks it in place. And I figured I'd give it a try, and what the heck, it looks like it should work good. And this little tool here comes with it. You need that to get it out, because once you push that in, it's really stuck in there good. And if you really want a permanent installation, they do pretty much give you a piece of double-sided tape you can put on the back of your dot device also. So that's what it looks like. I'll put a link to it in case anybody else is interested. And to start out with, you need a 4.5-inch hole saw, or you have to draw a 4.5-inch hole and cut it out with a like a sheetrock saw. But luckily I had that 4.5-inch hole saw. I basically never used this one before. Pretty big one. And just had to put the arbor on it, and then I just made sure I wanted to mount it high above anything we're going to hang on the wall there. And I had to make sure that there were no studs or nothing back there. I wish there was a way to check for wires, but you really have to be careful when you're drilling a hole like this in the wall, and just don't let it go too far through, because there's a lot of wires in walls, and I'll show you in a second. I just missed one here. So my little drill had a real hard time with it. It would just spin it one or two times and then shut down. But eventually I got it through there, and I'm going to save that piece just in case I don't like it in the future. And there you can see there was a wire. Luckily it was pushed back against the other side, but that's one of the dangers of putting anything in the wall. And then I just took a utility knife and just trimmed up the little bit of fuzzy stuff that was left there to clean that up. And here's a plug on the other end of the actual little power wart. So I drilled a hole through the wall, and I'm just going to drop about a foot of it through the wall. Now this really, I do not think this wire is rated to be for in wall, so I'm going to eventually make up a jumper and put in the wall, and just leave this all on the outside. You have to check your local codes to see what what is you can do in your areas, but I do not think that the cables that come with the kit or the original dot cables are legal to use. So, and then I put some marks on it, some tape and marks, just to make sure when I got it in place and everything lined up that the that grill cover would snap on, and the 4 speaker holes would be behind those larger holes in the grill cover. Actually, they're microphone holes, not the speaker. And you can see the microphones go behind those big holes there. And they give you a bracket, and they tell you the first thing you do is you start the screws that come with it. And there's a couple real long screws, so I just started them in 1 or 2 turns. Now the first couple turns getting those screws started, they're self-tapping. It's really, you really got to put some pressure and force on them to get them started. But once they break through the that thin metal bracket, they're easy after that. So there's the one started, and then I'm just going to go back and just get this one started. And just the bracket must still be real loose, but you just have to have this started, because you can't once it's in the wall. And then I put the camera in just the right place so you can't see anything here. I can't believe that, but what you have to do is just kind of angle it through the wall and get one side of the clip in, and then the other side just pops in, and that's it. and once it's in place, you go back and you just tighten up the 2 screws until that little bracket pulls it nice and tight and flush in the sheetrock. So, once that's all in there, it's time to just put the dot in. And like I said, I use the existing wire. I mean, there's only like a foot running across the wall out the other side, but it really, I'm going to replace it in the future with a fire-rated in-wall cable. And, there it is. It just snaps in, and it really does, fit in there nice and tight. You have to give it a pretty good push to get it in there and do any final adjustments. And then I can, once I got my little marks aligned on the piece of the tape, I'm just going to pull them off. And that was just, like I said, for reference, to make sure the microphone holes lined up in the right place, because the grill guard only snaps on in one position. And then that little grill guard just goes right on, and it clips right on there, and it stays on there good. And it looks like an in-wall speaker, and only took 2 minutes to mount. And actually,
for this week?
It makes the Alexa sound better, I think, up in the wall there and stuff. So this would be good. Like, this is the weather forecast for our area I asked her for. And you can listen to music, you can listen to news, you can listen to a lot of things. And I can't play that now because it's all copyrighted. So just thought I'd show you a little bit.
22 degrees and cloudy skies.
Thank you.
Anytime. Enjoy your morning.
So as you can see, I'm real happy with how easy it went in there and how it works. And we love these. We're using them as intercoms throughout the house, and we use the drop-in feature.
Drop in on kitchen dot.
Okay, dropping in.
Hello, anybody there?
Yes, I'm here.
Help! It's an emergency. I've fallen and I can't get up.
Well, what the hell do you want me to do about it?
Stop.
I think I've cried wolf once too many times on this intercom. But anyhow, this is the cable that comes with it. And like I said, in a sealed wall situation, I don't think it's legal to use. But, check with your local codes. And there's a double-sided tape. And don't lose this little hook, because you really do need it if you ever want to pull it out. And I got these little jacks here. I'm going to make up my own cable that's that I know is fire rated, safe to use in a wall, and add that in a little while. So I just thought I'd share this with you, because I know a lot of people are getting into these smart home devices. And, I don't know if anybody else makes a similar mount, but I'm sure you'll probably find others out there. And I'm real happy with this one, and it looks like it's going to work real good. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.